Hey, it's Vicky and I'm here to do a vlog, and this is a special vlog because I am going to be vlogging all week long because I'm taking part in the Backlist Readathon that is hosted by Sarah and Lindsay for Booklist Thursday, a series that they do on their channels. So I will link their channels down below in case you don't know who they are. But yeah, it's going to be a fun week. There are 5 prompts that I'm looking to fulfill or fill during the week. And yeah, the whole idea is to basically read backlist books, and it should be fun. And this week should be fun too because we're kind of back into the grind this week. Last week the kids were on spring break, but they're back at school today. But they do have Friday off because it's Good Friday, and then Easter is this weekend, so we'll be doing some fun Easter stuff over the weekend. So yeah, it should be a fun week. And then before I get into my TBR though, today is another special day for me. It is my Booktube birthday, and it's kind of a big one. It's my 5th birthday. So I have actually been on Booktube for 5 years, which is really strange to me. It just seems like it went by really fast. So yeah, I wanted to start off the vlog just by saying thank you to all of you for supporting my channel and for being my bookish friends and sharing your love of books with me, because it has been such a joy, and I'm so glad I started doing this 5 years ago, that I finally took the leap and did it, because I have made a lot of bookish friends and it's just been a really good time. So yeah, to celebrate, my husband, he got me a chai from Big B because I don't normally buy these because they're kind of expensive, honestly. So I either get it when it's a special occasion, like today, or my rewards card, when I get a free drink, this is what I always get. So otherwise I just drink coffee from there because it's cheaper. But yeah, so cheers to 5 years. Also, I don't know if you can hear the birds outside. There's a bird's nest right outside this window, and they are chatting right now. I don't know if they're chatting or they're fighting or what's going on, but there's a lot of bird chatter going on. So consider this like your morning ambience. Even though, like I said, they sound really aggressive right now. Okay, so back to the readathon. Today's Monday. I think I've mentioned that, or maybe I didn't. I don't know. It's the first day of the readathon anyways. And I have 5 prompts to fulfill this week. And I didn't do like a TBR video for this because I knew I was gonna be vlogging, so I didn't wanna make a TBR video and then also repeat myself with the TBR. So, okay. So the first prompt, is to read a backlist book by your favorite author. And this is no surprise, one of my favorite authors is Stephen King, and I'm trying to read his books in order. And so I'm currently working on Nightmares and Dreamscapes. I'm obviously not going to read this entire book in this week, but my plan is, because I've been listening to it on audio, my plan is to read or listen to a short story every day. So that's I think that'll be kind of fun. And the audiobook is really good. There's been some really good narrators so far. We've had Tim Curry, fantastic. We've had Rob Lowe, we've had Whoopi Goldberg, we've had Tabitha King, Stephen King's wife. And yeah, it's been going pretty good. So the only thing though about the audiobook that's interesting is that the stories are not in the same order as they are in the book. So when I'm just listening, it's like I have to kind of look in the book to find, where it is in the book, because they're not in order. I don't know why I did that, but okay, whatever. So yeah, hopefully I'll be getting one of those done today. I'm not sure which one, because like I said, they just kind of whenever one pops up, I'm like, okay, that's the one. So yeah, every day my goal is to read a short story out of this every day. And then the next prompt is a backlist book collecting dust. And for this, I chose my Kindle in general, because my Kindle has been collecting dust so far in 2022. I have only read, I actually just yesterday finished in e-arc on my Kindle, but other than that, it's been 2, and they've both been arcs. So I need to read some of my Kindle books. So I don't know yet what I'm gonna read on here. I have a couple ideas, because I do have a couple of books on here that are a little bit shorter that I think would be great for a readathon. So when I decide what that one's going to be, I will let you know. But yes, a Kindle book of some sort is going to fulfill that prompt for me. And then the next one is a backlist book with pink on the cover. And I went through my whole TBR shelf and I had nothing with pink on the cover except for Tiny Pretty Things by Sona Charapotra. I'm saying that wrong. Charapotra. I'm so sorry. And Danielle Clayton. And this is about, all I know about this and the reason I bought it was because it's about ballet. Like a ballet school. It's a YA novel, but it's about a ballet school. And I think it has some sort of, it's like a dark ballet sort of story, which ballet stories sometimes tend to be. So that's all I know about it. I don't know anything else. Ballet, darkness, cool. And then the next prompt is a book, a backlist book that is a 5-star prediction. And this one I actually just hauled it, but I really think it's going to be 5 stars. And that is I Remember You, a ghost story by Ursa Sigurdardóttir. And this is I believe it's a horror novel. It's about a group of friends, or just a group of people, 3 friends, that are staying in a haunted house, or like renovating a haunted house or something. And I've just heard it's really creepy. And I love creepy, I love haunted house stories. And yeah, so I think this is gonna be 5 stars. I'm super excited. I'm probably gonna start reading this one today because it is a little bit, it's almost 400 pages. So I need to start it today. And then the last prompt is to read a book with a scripted title where like it looks like it's handwritten or like cursive-y. And again, I really struggled to find a book that was like this, which is weird because usually like when you go to the bookstore, you see those books everywhere. So I was like, oh, that'll be easy. And then I'm like looking through my TBR shelves and I'm like, I have nothing except it kind of works is Tiny Pretty Things. I mean, it kind of has like where it looks kind of cursive-y and like handwritten. So I'm going with it. All right, so that is my TBR. Those are my plans for the week. Yeah, so today I'm about to go take Leia to school. I have some housework to do, so I'm hoping to get the Stephen King short story done first thing in the morning. I also do a little bit of, I like fill out my planner for the week usually on Monday mornings, so I'll be doing that. Also, while hopefully listening to one of the audiobooks. And then, yeah, later this afternoon is where, like, when both kids are at school, once Hunter goes to preschool, is when I will have more time to really sit down and read. So when I have something to report, I will let you know. Tuesday afternoon. Sorry I didn't do another update yesterday. Monday nights get kind of busy because I pick the kids up from school and then like we basically have to eat dinner right away, and then Leia has dance class and Austin and I alternate taking her, so it was my turn to take her. So I did get a little bit of reading done at the dance studio. But yeah, I wanted to do a check-in because I have read some things. I actually have read 2 stories now out of Nightmares and Dreamscapes because I read one yesterday and one this morning. And the one I read yesterday was called Omni's Last Case. And it was pretty good. I don't really want to say too much about it because the twist, I mean, I don't want to ruin it for anybody, but it's basically, to be vague, it's about a detective in like 1930s LA. And he's just kind of going about his morning and starts to kind of notice that things are different, weird, and that's all I'll say about it. It ended up being pretty good. It's definitely like kind of, I don't want to say a trope, but sort of a theme or a thing that Stephen King has definitely like played with before in his writing. And yeah, I enjoyed it. It was a 4-star read. And then the one that I read this morning was called Head Down, and it was basically a piece that he had wrote for the New Yorker, I think it was, about his son Owen's Little League, like state championship tournament. So it was all right. I mean, I guess like it was kind of, if you're really into baseball at all, which I do like baseball, but you would probably like it. But it basically was like a play the most part of it was a play-by-play of the Little League games. And I got a little bored, not gonna lie. And it's not that it was bad. It's just like I picked this up and it's not what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for a Little League play-by-play. So it was well written. But it was a good story, I guess. If you're, like I said, if you're a sports fan, it's a good one, but I just wasn't really like, I wasn't here for it. And so it was like I'd probably say it was like a 2-star read, just because it didn't really hold my interest, but I went ahead and listened to it anyways. And then I did start on audio. I started Tiny Pretty Things, which has a multicast because there's 3 points of view in this story, and each person is voiced by a different person, so I don't know who their names are or whatever, but I made it 52 pages in. You kind of get introduced to the 3 characters. They all attend this ballet school in New York and are getting ready to do a production of the Nutcracker. And so there's already, just in these first 50 pages, you're getting just a sense of the characters and sort of the dramas of being at a ballet school like that, a very competitive school with people that are very passionate about ballet. It's like their world. It's good so far. There are definitely some, I think, stereotypes in terms of like when you think about ballerinas. There's definitely some stereotypes here, which I'm not saying that those things aren't true. There are obviously ballerinas who are very cutthroat. There are ballerinas who have eating disorders, who have issues with their bodies. There are, there's definitely, in the ballet world itself, there is a tendency to cast, the tall, skinny, white, blonde girls for things. And so like all those things exist. So I'm not hating on it because I do recognize that those things are there. But it is also at the same time feels like, I don't know, just a little bit stereotypy. I don't know. Yeah, it's interesting so far. There's already a lot of drama. Yeah, it should be fun. And then I also started I Remember You by Ursa Sigurdardóttir. I always feel like I'm saying that wrong, but I'm trying. And this one already, I also read about 50 pages of this one, and already the scene is being set so well that, you're feeling, as you read it, the isolation of these characters, because our main characters, like there's kind of 2 stories going on, but the main story is these 3 characters are going to this house on this very, very secluded island in like the north part of Iceland. And they basically bought the house together and are planning to basically renovate it and make it like I'm guessing like an Airbnb type situation. And they go there in the winter time because they want the house ready for the summer season, which is when everything picks up there on this island. But in the wintertime, it's basically dead. Like no one's there. So it's very cold and there's no one there. And then the house is really old and kind of creepy. And so you're already getting a sense of like, oh, this is not going to go well. This is not going to end well for these characters. And already like a couple little weird things have happened. So, and then there's this other story that's going on that seems like it has nothing to do with these 3 people, but I don't know. Somehow I feel like it is going to come together. But yeah, so far this is good. There's really great atmosphere here. I'm loving it. So today, both kids are at school right now, and once I pick them up today, there's nothing going on after school. The morning was crazy busy, haircuts and errands and everything else, but now like basically after I pick them up from school, I'm good to go. There's nothing else going on. So I'm hoping I can get some more reading done today because I really wanted to get more done than I have. So, all right, I am going to turn off the camera and I'm gonna sit down and I'm going to read as much of this as I can before I have to go pick up the kids. So this has nothing to do with the readathon, but I noticed that yesterday Rick McDonald, I always forget his last name, McDonald. It's gotta be McDonald. Anyways, he's the guy that does the Booktube spin, and he just announced that the next round of Booktube spin is going to be on Friday, this Friday. So I need to pick 20 books to make my list. And the last time that I did my Booktube spin list, I basically just grabbed all the books that were on previous book haul revisits and then just added a couple. But now I kind of want to do like a whole new list, and I'm gonna have Leia pick them for me. I'm just gonna have her, I'm just gonna have her go to my TBR shelves and just pick 20 books. I did pull ones that like either are sequels, like where I have to read a book before I can read that one, or if I already have plans for those books, I pulled them so that she won't pick them by mistake or whatever. But yeah, she is going to pick 20 books for me, and that way I can make my list so that when Rick does the numbers on Friday, I will have my picks ready. So I'm gonna have her do that right now. Okay, so here's the deal.
Okay.
Those 3 shelves on the bottom, those are all books that I have never read, okay?
Okay.
And I need you to pick 20.
Wait, what?
20 books and like put them in a pile. And like, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna influence your choices.
Okay.
If it looks like something you think I should read right now,
okay.
I want you to pick it. So you gotta pick 20 books, okay?
20 books?
Okay, and go.
A million. It's a lot of good choices. There's a lot of books. I think number 1 will be this one. It looks like it's called The Wicked Girls.
Okay.
There's so much books, I'm like, what to pick?
No pressure.
This one sounds like an interesting title. We need new names. I kind of feel bad like giving you like such a big book, so do you mind doing a big one?
You do what you want to do.
Okay, because I'm like,
you,
I feel
you
bad
just pick them.
You a lot. Okay. I'm like, I feel
I'm
like...
always up for the challenge.
Okay. The Hollow Places sounds kind of good. Oh, you still have your Roald Dahl book.
And that's one I never read as a kid, though.
Oh!
What's it called?
The Twits.
Yes.
That sounds actually kind of cool. I might need to borrow that after you're done reading all these books. The Chain sounds interesting. One more, and then we got 20. Every heart a doorway. Alright, that's the last one, I think. Those are your 20 books.
Yes, this is my stack. Pretty good choices in there.
I tried to look on what ones sound like more you.
So yeah, I will find out on Friday which 2 I'm gonna read. I'm gonna probably just keep them in this order and just write them down. But yeah, I'll snap my picture and post it on Instagram so that I have my list posted somewhere. But yeah.
I like the books I chose for you.
I do too. Hey, so it's Wednesday and it's like almost 7 o'clock p.m. And I realized I haven't done an update today. Today's been a little bit busy. I didn't do as much reading as I had hoped to do. I went and saw one of my best friends had a baby 2 weeks ago, and I went to go visit them and snuggle the baby while Hunter was at preschool, and that was lots of fun. Got my baby fix. And yeah, Leia and Austin are at, Leia has dance class tonight, so he took her to dance, and Hunter is currently in the bathtub. So, didn't get a ton of reading done today, but I still want to do a little bit of an update because I did read a story, another story out of Nightmares and Dreamscapes. I read Chattery Teeth, and this one on audio is narrated by Kathy Bates, so that was really fun. And the story was really fun, you know, kind of kind of weird, kind of goofy, but also kind of creepy. It's about like a traveling salesman who stops at this kind of like, it's like a gas station slash curiosity shop, I guess. And he sees this, like it's a, like that chattery teeth toy. I don't know how to explain it. Where like when you wind it up, the teeth like do that and it has like little feet and it walks. And yeah, he picks it up and I'm not gonna say much more about it, but it was a lot of fun, basically. And I gave it 3 stars. It was good. And then I have made I haven't made as much progress with this as I wanted to. I am on page 123 right now, and I really wanted to make it to like the halfway point today, which would be like 180. And I just don't think I'm gonna get there today. But things are kind of starting to come together in terms of like the different sort of plot points that are going on, the different kind of side stories, where in the beginning you're like, okay, what does this have to do with this? Now pieces are coming together and you're starting to kind of see the interconnectedness a little bit. And also though, more questions are being raised. So it's a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying it. It has had some creepy moments also, some just weird things where you're like, okay, how did that happen? Why? Okay, that was weird. So yeah, this is fun. I'm really enjoying it. And then surprisingly, I am actually also really enjoying Tiny Pretty Things. It is so dramatic and like juicy with the drama. I don't really have anything more to say about that one. I think am I almost halfway through this one? No, I'm not. I'm not even halfway through this one yet either, which again, I'm feeling a little behind because I was hoping to be by Wednesday to be at least halfway through one book, and I'm not. But I'm still having a good time, enjoying it. I saw that there's a Netflix series that I guess is based off of this book, but by watching the trailer, I'm like, this doesn't seem like it's the same story. So I don't know if any of you have watched that and have read this book. Is it kind of like a Haunting of Hill House situation where they got like inspiration from this and kind of like did their own thing or what? Or am I like just not far enough into the story yet? I don't know. But yeah, it's a good time. Not usually my typical sort of read, but I am enjoying it. So it is what it is. So yeah, I'm making progress. I haven't completed anything yet. I'm really gonna try to tomorrow to really, you know, put more of a dent in these two for sure. Because I do still have a Kindle book that I wanted to try to get through, but I don't know if that's gonna happen. So yeah, tomorrow, Hunter has preschool, of course. Leia has school. I don't really have anything going on other than I have a little bit of some Easter errands, if you will, to do regarding Easter. But yeah, other than that, I should be able to hopefully get more read tomorrow because the kids, there's no like extracurriculars or anything after school. So yes. All right. I will give you guys an update tomorrow. Happy Thursday. I can't believe that it's already Thursday. This readathon is going by really fast and I feel like I haven't accomplished anything. So I have not finished a book yet. I'm not really close to finishing a book. It's just going slowly and that's okay. I'm not gonna beat myself up too much because I am chugging along, you know? So I did read another story in Nightmares and Dreamscapes. This time it was called My Pretty Pony. And it was narrated by Jerry Garcia, which was interesting. I don't know the significance of it because the story was about, from what I could gather, it was about growing old. It's because it's like a grandpa is talking to his grandson. His grandson is the narrator and he's just kind of talking about like the relationship he had with his grandpa and how his grandpa always talked about basically getting older and how like time passes differently and just all that kind of stuff when you're older. So I mean, like, it was all right. It wasn't the worst story I've read out of here, so I gave it 3 stars, but it wasn't like awesome. So and then other than that, I don't have a ton of updates. Like, I've been listening to this a little bit this morning, but I don't really have anything else to say. So I'm working my way through it. I'm still not even close to halfway. So yeah. But then this one is really delivering for me. It really is. It's one of those stories where even though there's like 2 stories going on, typically with me, when there's 2 stories going on in a book, there's usually one that I prefer. And in this one, they're both like really good. So, and you're still kind of trying to figure out how they're connected. And like I said in the last clip, I think I said, more questions are being raised. Like every time you kind of like start to feel like you're putting it together, then something else happens and you're like, okay, wait, what? So, yeah, this is a great mystery. If you like I said, like a dual story sort of mystery where things all come together, I really think you would like this. It's really good. With a touch of like supernatural creepiness, I think you would like this. So far I'm really, really liking it. And I'm about almost halfway through it. So yeah, I'm just gonna sit here and read because I actually have the house to myself, which rarely happens because Austin works from home. He has been working from home for like past 2 years, like a lot of people. But he had to go into the office today, just really quick, just for like the afternoon. So I took Hunter to school and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have a quiet house. Yay. So I'm going to take advantage, and I have like an hour and a half before I have to go get Hunter from preschool. So I'm going to just sit here and read. So it is Friday, and we spent the morning, I did a bit of choring. Austin was off today for Good Friday, so he took Hunter to swim class because he has swim class every Friday morning. And Leia and I stayed home and packed up all of her clothes that no longer fit her. I bagged them all up to give to my niece because she is like a size or 2 smaller than Leia, so it works out that when she outgrows stuff, we have someone we can pass it on to. And then we went to my parents' house and dyed Easter eggs, which was really fun. That's like a tradition that we have done since Leia was little. So we did that. And I also have something else to report, that the Booktube spin took place this morning and the 2 numbers were chosen. Rick spun the spinner and the 2 numbers were 17 and 20. And so my 2 books were, the first one is Golem Girl by Riva Lehrer. This is a memoir. Riva was born in the 50s, I believe. Yes, 1958. And she was born with spina bifida and was basically raised, constantly feeling like by like her family members and her doctors, like that she was had to be fixed and was very fragile, and you know, would never have a love life and would never like be normal. And then when she's, I want to say when she's in her 20s, maybe, I don't know, it just says as an adult. She's an artist, and she gets invited to join a group of artists who are building what they call disability culture, which basically kind of makes her completely view disability and herself in a completely different way. And within this art community, she just kind of learns a lot about herself and how she wants to be perceived and things like that. And it is also like, but then it's also about art, because she, like I said, is an artist. So yeah, I've had this on my TBR shelf for over a year. So it's good that this one was one of the ones picked, and I will be reading it. I think we have, if I remember right, we have till the end of June. I need to double check that, but I have to read this soon, basically. And then the other one is another one I've had on my TBR shelf for a long time, years it's been. But it is another nonfiction book called Annie's Ghost by Steve Luxenberg. And this one is about Steve Luxenberg's mother. When she was, you know, growing up and everything, as he was growing up, he was always told by his mom that she was an only child. And, excuse me, when she's really old, I want to say she's like on her deathbed, she mentions that she actually had a sister who was sent away when she was younger. And so Steve kind of dives into this whole sort of mystery, like that he actually has an aunt, and it turns out her name is Annie, and she was actually put in a mental institution when she was in her 20s. So her mom and her sister actually grew up, his mom, I should say, and her sister, they actually grew up together. It wasn't like she was put away in this institution when she was very young. They grew up together. And so he kind of is like diving into why his mother kept this secret. And it kind of obviously challenges, you know, he has this very like just conflicted feeling about his mom after this. Like, I love my mom and everything, but why did she like tell such this elaborate lie? So yeah. This was passed on to me, somebody passed it on to me. I can't remember who, because they really loved it. And I just have not had a chance to read it until now, because now that it was a Booktube spin pick, I'm going to be reading it really soon. And then as far as like the readathon goes, I haven't really done a lot of physical reading today, because like I said, we weren't really home for a big chunk of the afternoon, and then in the morning I was doing all that packing up of clothes. But I did listen to quite a bit of Tiny Pretty Things, and now I have about like 130 pages left. So I'm hoping I'll finish this maybe tomorrow, finally, because yeah, have not finished a book yet. But this one, it's getting really good. I have to admit, it's just, there's a lot of drama, and it's just interesting because these characters are so passionate about ballet. Like, they love ballet. It is their entire life. And it's just interesting to see what they will do to themselves in some cases, but also to each other to get on top. It's just interesting and entertaining. I'd like to think that most people in the ballet world are not like this. But, like I said in the beginning of the vlog when I talked about this, I'm sure people like this exist, you know? But, yeah. It's just interesting to see people that are so driven by something and so passionate about something, but it brings out the worst in them in a lot of cases. Yeah, so I'm hoping this evening after dinner, that's when I'll be able to sit down and like physically read, because I really want to keep reading. I Remember You. I just haven't really had much of a chance today to pick it up. So that's kind of my plans for the night. The weather is really crappy today. It's been rainy and windy. So yeah, we're not going anywhere. We're not doing anything. We're just gonna stay in, and hopefully, yeah, I can get some reading in. Hey, it is Easter Sunday, so happy Easter to everybody that celebrates out there. I did not do an update yesterday because I really didn't have much to report throughout the day. I was just doing stuff around the house and trying to read. And I did complete a book, finally. I have completed Tiny Pretty Things. And I decided to give this one 4 stars. I think that it basically was everything that I was looking for going into it. It had like the darkness, kind of the Black Swan sort of ballerina vibes, but it also had like the teenage drama. And that's pretty much what you go into it thinking you're gonna get, which is great, you know? And though there were parts of it that, like I said before, were kind of stereotypical, parts that maybe were a little bit predictable, it was really enjoyable. Like, I couldn't stop listening to this yesterday, if I'm being honest. I just really wanted to finish it. Not only because of the readathon, but just because I was just totally sucked into the characters and the story and the drama of it all. And so yeah, this was a lot of fun. And the only thing was it had some nice little kind of mysteries. There's a couple kind of in here, but there's a big thing that happens at the end and you don't get the answers to like kind of the who and the why. You don't really get. And so there's a sequel to this, and now I feel like I need to read the sequel very soon, because I need to know what happened there at the end. So yeah, I will probably be picking up the sequel soon. But yeah, this was fun. It was good. I don't know if I'm gonna watch the Netflix series, because once I finished the book, I did just a little bit of reading up on it, and it is different, and I just, I don't know if I wanna. I don't know. Let me know if any of you guys have watched the Netflix series, if I should check it out. But okay, so yeah, I finished this. Yay, finally, I got something done. So this fulfilled 2 prompts for me. This was the pink on the cover and the like scripty lettering. So yay. And then I have read 2 more stories in Nightmares and Dreamscapes. Let's see, I gotta think. The first one was called Sneakers, and that one was pretty fun. I gave it 4 stars. It was about a guy who was working at a record company and went into the bathroom one day, you know, to use the John, and he saw this weird pair of sneakers under like one of the stalls. And that's all I'll say about it, because it kind of progresses. But it ended up being just kind of like weird and fun, and it makes you think like, where does Stephen King get some of these ideas? Like I really think that the idea for that came to him was like he went into a public restroom and saw a pair of like someone's shoes, you know, like, because that's all you see when you go into a restroom and you kind of like are seeing who's in the stalls. That's all you see are shoes. And he probably, with his Stephen King brain, was like, oh, let me write a horror story about that, you know? So random, but cool. I enjoyed it. And then the other one I read, do you remember, was called, I just read it yesterday, was it Dedication? Yes, Dedication. And this one was kind of weird. It was about a maid who worked at a hotel, and she's telling a friend of hers, I think it was a friend of hers, because about like a kind of a story from her past, because she gets a copy of her son's book. So her son is an author and he gets published, and he sends her a copy, and he dedicated the book to her. And so she kind of starts telling her friend about this, you know, this story that kind of that has to do with her son and why he became a writer and all that kind of stuff. And so it was kind of weird, and there was, you know, a part in particular that was kind of nasty, if I'm being blunt. But, you know, it was still good. So I gave it 3 stars. But I'm not going to be listening to Stephen King's story today, because I am still wanting to really, really finish I Remember You. And when I woke up this morning, I had like 100 pages left, and I'm like, there's no way I'm going to be able to finish this if I have to physically read it all, because it's Easter. So, you know, we have a family gathering later today where we're going to be gone most of the afternoon. So I'm like, there's no way I'm going to be able to really have a lot of reading time. And then good old Hoopla came in clutch, and they had the audiobook, which is really surprising, because I looked on Scribd, they didn't have it. I was like, okay, do I want to like somehow purchase it, or I don't know. And No, Hoopla. Hoopla has it. So I'm going to listen to this on audio the rest of the way when I'm not home today. So I have, because we'll be in the car for a little bit, so I can pop in my earbuds for that. I have like a little bit to do here before we leave. And then I can physically read like later when we get home. So yes, I think I'm really gonna try to finish this book today. I really think I can do it, especially now that I have that audiobook to kind of help me out. So I actually was listening to it while I was getting ready today, and I got through like 2 chapters, so I think it's gonna happen. So yes, I may just complete another book by the end of the readathon. As far as the Kindle goes, yeah, that's definitely not happening. So, bummer. My Kindle is just going to continue collecting dust. Well, hopefully not, but at least for this readathon, it is. But hopefully I will be able to do a Kindle book soon. But yes, this is the priority today. I'm not gonna listen to another Nightmares and Dreamscape story. I'm done with that. Yeah, it has served its purpose. This is the goal today. So I'm going to, like I said, get a couple things done around here, and then we'll have our Easter festivities later. And yeah, hopefully when I check in to close out the vlog, I'll be able to tell you my final thoughts on I Remember You. Hey, so it is now Monday. I didn't have time yesterday to film another clip and to do like a final check-in, but I have great news. I did finish I Remember You yesterday. Thank you, Hoopla and audiobooks, because I don't think I would have done it without it. I listened to this in the car on our travels yesterday, just like with my headphones, and I did manage to finish it, and it was a 5-star read. Yay! Which is great because this was the book I chose for the prompt to choose a backlist book that was a 5-star prediction. So I predicted this was going to be 5 stars, and it was. So that's super exciting. The reason I loved this so much, it's a slow burn sort of mystery. So if you like slow burns, I think you will like this. I loved how there's 2 different stories going on in the book, and you spend a huge chunk of it just wondering, how are these 2 stories connected? Because at first it seems like they have nothing to do with each other. They just seem totally random. And by the end, everything comes together, and I loved the way it all came together. It was great. So great. And then the kind of added bonus of that was the creepy supernatural stuff going on in this. Because often, like, you'll get like creepy supernatural books where you think it's a ghost, but then it ends up it isn't, or something like that. And in this, no, the ghosts are real and they are creepy. And there were so many times in this book that I was so just unsettled, and it was just so atmospheric, and you just felt like you were there, and I really loved it. So This would be a great book to read in the winter time because it does play up with like isolation and cold and yeah, just being isolated by the weather and stuff like that. So it would be a great winter read if that's like something that you're into, is like reading by the seasons. I think you would really like this. So yes, I completed 4 of the 5 prompts. I did not complete the book collecting dust, which I mean, I guess I could use Tiny Pretty Things for that because I have had that book for like over a year, but I had chosen to do a Kindle book and I didn't make it. So, but otherwise it had a really good readathon. I ended up reading, I counted today, I read over 1,000 pages during the readathon, which is great. So yeah, it was a good time. So let me know down below if you took part in the readathon, what prompts you fulfilled, what books you read. I would love to hear that. And thank you so much for watching this vlog. I hope you enjoyed. And yeah, that's it. So yay, 5-star read in there. That's super exciting. I'm still reeling over it. But yes, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you have a wonderful week and I will talk with you soon. Thank you so much for watching.